Right, okay then. Combat Patrol issue 5 now. And we get a sergeant. Um, it's quite cool, this sergeant. He's just purely because he's got a one of these massive flamers, which I like. Um, it's strange though, because it's just like weird that he's a sergeant on his own. He's not even part of a squad. He's just like a sergeant. I'll get onto him later. And along with the issue, we get more uh, clicky clacky math rocks. And moving on to that, we'll have a look at the issue. Now, again, he's got the same weapon as the Infernus Marines. Now, that means, to my mind, that he would sit rather well with the Infernus squad as an additional model. I'm not sure what the rules are about adding extra models to units yet. I haven't had a chance to read it. But I think the other thing is about getting a sergeant like this on its own is it's actually a good opportunity to, if you want to try a different chapter, as an experiment to paint something different, separate from your main one. Okay, let's just kind of flow through this then and see what we get. He's a He is a model that you must glue, so he's not a push fit model. So if you don't have glue at this point, go out and get some. Now, you will find that if you go and get glue in a tube, it will be a messy business. Games Workshop do their own one. I like this one because it's got this spout here. Now, you can tell I've had this pot for a while now. I have to admit, I do kind of fill it up again. The reason I keep this particular pot is because I do find it's this applicator here slows down the flow of glue quite well. You don't end up getting glue everywhere. So get one of these from Games Workshop, but don't be afraid to then do what I've been doing for quite a while now, is just refilling it with generic bland poly cement. Okay, so yeah, you'll be gluing this model together in order to get it to work, to get it to stay even. And then what we're looking at here is a bit of painting technique on based coating, and how to do it well, basically. It covers the first little part of painting our Infernus Marine. Additional painting techniques for the actual Space Marines. Before we head into this section here, which talks more about the Imperium and the Imperial Tithe. Basically, the tithe is what the Imperial do to basically any worlds within the Imperium. They basically go up to them and say, you have to give us troops, resources, food, whatever, basically. Basically, it's like a tax on being part of an Imperium that is absolutely brutal. There is a fantastic sub-story within the Imperial history called the Badab Wars, which is often joked about what happens when you don't pay your taxes. It's a bloody not a full-blown civil war, but it's pretty close to it, where I think it's classed as the biggest rebellion in the Imperium since the Horus Heresy, and effectively that is about, in a lot of ways, the Imperium wondering why they're not getting their taxes. That's an oversimplification, but it's definitely so. Understanding the tithe will lead you to understanding why the Babadab War kind of started. Anyway, little bit of information about the Infernus Marine Sergeant and how to use them in battle. Let's have a look. Yeah, so it looks to me like, according to this, your Infernus Marine Sergeant is a replacement for the one you've already got. So it just means you've got an alternative model. And again, because he's an alternative model, you can use the alternative sergeant to practice a different colour scheme. Yes, so there's a Flames of Purification scenario, which just looks like it uses an Infernus Marine. And then Armoured Infestation Site. Medium, yeah, so it's burning infestation sites, basically. What else have we got here? A little bit on dice and modifiers. And then, of course, towards the back, they kind of show you exactly what this plastic addiction is going to lead to eventually, which is this. Now, some of the vehicles that you see here are built for the Primaris Space Marines. These two beauties here are called Land Raiders. Now that is the 40k Land Raider, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to bring this up because I love Land Raiders. They are just like iconic to the scene. That's a 30k Land Raider, so that's a Horus Heresy Land Raider. So the Land Raiders from 40k and the Land Raiders from the Horus Heresy, which is set in the 30,000, they have a lot of similar, they look similar in a lot of ways, but there's other parts that are drastically different. I want a 40k Land Raider to put in my Horus Heresy just because I actually think it's cool to have a bit of variety. Anyway, so yeah, just to give you an idea of scale, okay, of this image here, okay, there's some Land Raiders in it. That's how big a Land Raider gets, okay? It's not a small thing. Anyway, I'm waffling on. I'm going off on tangents again. I'm supposed to be reviewing this, but I'm showing off my other models. That's done up in the colour scheme of the Salamander's Legion. Okay. And, of course, it's telling us what's coming up in the future with the Barb Gaunts, which I'm going to go on to in a second. Before we move on to a future one, which is going to have some termagants in it, but that'll be the next delivery. So, our actual sergeant then, as an alternative model, I like him because he actually has the Infernus gun. So unlike, the other one has the Infernus weapon. I don't know what it's actually called. I'm going to assume it's a flamer, but obviously it's a lot more powerful than your average flamer. It's good that he's an alternative model. He also has, by the look of it, 2 head options, so one bareheaded and one helmeted. So I think, honestly, I'm going to encourage you to do this, okay? Pick which sergeant you like, put that in your squad, and the other one turn into a personal experiment on colour schemes. Try something different with him, okay? Right. It is a fantastic model, and I love having I don't know if this... It says it's a brand new Space Marine Sergeant, which suggests to me that this is not a model, that's going to be definitely available in the future. My guess is they will release it eventually, but for now, it just seems to be something that's contained within the Combat Patrol. Okay, so we've got some really good stuff in issue 5, and we've got some more dice. We got a nice new sergeant. We've got some nice content within it. Anyway, so thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.